Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about my last video, How to Revolution, not my last video, but it was actually a few videos back. But there was a YouTuber who had given me, who was very friendly and very helpful to me. She goes by the name Lucky Black Cat, and she suggested that I expand some of the ideas in that video, so I'm going to do that today. And also, I figured that because of the content matter, or the subject matter of the content, that I'd also remark on a video that was put out recently by Xexizy, if that's how you pronounce his channel's name. Also to Lucky Black Cat, if you're watching. And I just assumed your pronouns were she, her. If they're not, please correct me. But yeah, let's continue. So one of the things that was talked about in Xexizy's video, which was called Leftist Stuck in the Supermarket of Ideology, very clever title, was that there's a needless, superfluous amount of leftist ideologies, all of which are constantly bickering over who has the right ideas in terms of praxis and theory. So the idea is to find a new plan of action, and I figured that it would be appropriate, I guess, for me to talk about the subject matter of my video, How to Revolution, expanding upon its ideas while relating to how I think is relevant in that case. So in my video, I really just focused on the practical ways you could apply concepts around building community assemblies in organizing work, and it was pretty much like a skeletal, kind of bare bones list. It was meant to just give like a general overview of building community assemblies, because of the fact that, you know, depending on your area, strategies are really contingent on the conditions that you're experiencing in that area. So I decided to just give a general overview. And the reason why I just focused on community assemblies is because I just noticed that there's a lack of discourse on that topic when it comes to general discourse, when it comes to praxis and theory, and that a lot of people talk about the other aspect of organizing, which is workspace organizing, obviously. And workplace organizing has to be executed simultaneously with building community assemblies. But let me further expand on the importance of building community assemblies first. So one of the reasons why it's important to build these assemblies is that it allows for your community, your local community, to organize politically, which is important. It allows your community to connect, to communicate, and you can organize projects for self-sustainability and collective political action, which is all very much an essential building block, foundational building block to building up revolutionary potential. Also, another benefit that these assemblies have is that they are inclusive to disabled folks, to stay-at-home parents, to unemployed folks, anybody who isn't capable of participating in a workplace. So these assemblies will function as the underlying political structure for after revolution is accomplished. It'll be organized in sort of a decentralized regional network of various community assemblies, democratically voting on how resources will be produced and distributed. And as I said earlier, this will happen simultaneously with workplace organizing. So the event that will set off the revolution to begin with will be a network of unions formed in the various workplaces, executing a general strike. The assemblies will actually help with the function of that organizing to begin with. So workers locally can organize in the assemblies, in their community assemblies. It'll function as kind of like a place outside of the workplace to organize, which will be useful. And then when it comes to the non-local workers, there are bound to be workers in the same workplace that are from maybe a different community. When it gets to that point where it's required to bring them into the workplace organizing, then the local workers can move to another location that'll be more efficient for those non-local workers to come and organize with them there as well. So it'll work as like kind of like an incubator, I guess, before finally uniting with other communities that might be in the same workplace. So after the general strike and after the workers demand that that the ownership of each varying company be handled democratically. So after the votes are made on the subject of production matters and the distribution of capital, then the decisions will be discussed with the community assemblies concerning the resource distribution. In case I didn't mention this earlier, I'll check in editing. A lot of the conceptualization for this has been going on in the DSA LSC, at least in my local San Diego branch, and the seeds have been planted in formulating these strategies and in building these assemblies. And I think that this will be incredibly useful in almost any situation, or any environments. But I will stress that this, of course, isn't the only way to go about things, and it's not an entirely universal way. Like I said, material conditions change, and they also vary when it comes to environment, when it comes to location. So this is only meant as kind of like a helpful push forward, maybe to give people some idea of what they can do if they don't know what to do. And like I said, I'm making this just to aid, I guess, in the discourse, to give somebody, if they didn't have a general idea, to give somebody a general idea of where we can start and what we can start talking about when it comes to the practical application of theory and praxis out in the field when it comes to organizing, to finally start building revolutionary potential. And hopefully we can finally get this thing off the ground. So I welcome discussion. Thank you guys very much. I'll talk to you later, I guess. I also wanted to mention that it's actually kind of impressive that Xexizy managed to get such like a wide variety ideologically of leftist creators to collaborate on his video. Kind of really, I guess, hits home the point he was trying to make. Anyway, props. Patrons. Bobby Fisher, valued customer.